whether it's like, top three programs or just like tips. What advice do you have for students or young professionals wanting to start their own projects?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, and one of the ways that was my big entrance into learning how to do anything was utilizing YouTube to your advantage. People have thousands of hours of videos on like one explicit, topic that's maybe a rabbit hole that you want to go down. So for me, I was trying to learn how to make a logo. So I just made a logo for Creativity with Chloe that took a very long time. That would probably have taken, a graphic designer not very long to do. And I guess in doing so, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about I have an iPad, so how to use your iPad to use apps like Procreate, apps like anything in the Adobe cloud, like Adobe Illustrator. And so using some of those things were really helpful, but the main tool that I used for that to learn how to do it was YouTube. So if you have something that you want to learn how to do, let's say you want to learn how to make a bomb poster for your upcoming, brass ensemble concert that actually gets people to look at your poster and know in a very quick amount of time, like what the event is, where it is, who is performing, and why someone should go to it. And I would definitely suggest watching some YouTube videos, just plugging it in how to make an effective flyer. And through that, a lot of the times the people will also show, here's the program I'm using. So for me, I use Canva, which has some free elements and some elements where you can sort of pay for a subscription, but they have a bunch of templates in there that's super helpful. So one of the number one things I would say is go to YouTube to see specifically what people are using and then how they're using that process. Because also through that, you go through this process of learning what you like and what you don't like. So if someone is telling you, this is how I made this flyer for this program, and you're thinking, I don't really like the fonts that they use for that, or this isn't really that clear, that is a sort of way, a step into your creative process of saying, I am seeing what someone else is doing, and this is how I can apply it to what I'm doing. So one would be YouTube. Another would be, I guess, using Squarespace. I originally, when I made both my personal website and the website that I'm building right now for Creativity with Chloe, I originally used WordPress, and I used WordPress.com, which was a much easier interface to use. And then I switched over to WordPress.org, which is more for people who, I guess, know what they're doing, which I did not. And now I've switched over to using Squarespace, which is very, very, very user friendly. So I guess the other thing would be using Squarespace, or if you have, a program that you like more than that for web designing, using that. But I would recommend, if you don't know where to start and you want to build your website, I would highly recommend using Squarespace for that. This is not sponsored. This is just me sharing what I would suggest. And I guess the third thing, if I'm thinking about it, I think the third thing I would suggest is to make what are called mind maps or creative maps. And you can Google this. There's a few websites that are online that will help you make one, or you can see a template. You basically, let's see, I won't show it on the whiteboard here, but you'll basically start with an idea. So let's say you want to build your career as a professional trumpet player. So you put in the middle of this professional trumpet player, and then you make some spokes going out of this initial bubble. And you say, what are some of the things that I want to do as a professional trumpet player? For me, this is, something like teaching at a university, being able to teach courses on African-American music, that's connected in there. And being able to, create a brass ensemble and having a solo career. So this is just an example of some of the things you can put in that sort of outer layer. And then you go one step further from that and you say, okay, in order to have a solo career, what are some of the things that I need to do? I might need to, do some concerto competitions at my school, or submit something for an online competition or something like that. So you start to really break down the steps of what you need to do to achieve what you're saying that you want to do. So this achieves, one, helping you to realize what you want to do long term and sort of giving yourself maybe a 5-year plan of how to do that. And two, how to actually achieve, or what steps you think you need to achieve making those happen. And that can help you to realize, I don't know how to start a solo career. Maybe I need to set up a lesson with someone who is doing this. You know, maybe I need to reach out to someone like Mary Bowden and say, hi, Mary, how did you, start your career? And either that's a paid lesson, either maybe that's something that they give their time to you for free, but being able to also ask people for help in doing that. So utilize YouTube, right? Utilize Squarespace, something that's super easy. Trust me, you will save hours of time that I wish I had saved from using a program like WordPress, and giving yourself actually a zoom out of what you want to achieve. And that's something you can do with a pen and paper just right now. It's very actionable and also shows you just on paper. I have one of these here and another. I have a square somewhere here. Let's see. I don't know where they went, but I have this paper here, which I have a cardboard sort of pin that is about the size that this will go on, where I'm going to be making my vision map, and this will live right here above my computer. So every day I'm able to also see visually, it's a visual cue. What am I working towards, and it should excite you, if you are creating this sort of vision for yourself and you're not excited about all the things that you can do, make a vision that is exciting. It could be, I know when I was an undergrad, my vision when I first got to school was I'm going to be an orchestral trumpet player, because that was the background that I had, and I really, really enjoyed that. And as I started to learn how to do chamber music and how to do solo music, how to do research, each of these sort of rabbit holes that I went down expanded that circle. And so that's one of the main things that you can also do, creating this vision.